Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be watching this. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So my name is Samantha, folks, and I am the co-owner and operator of a 2-acre farmstead located in southeast Louisiana. Folks, I want to talk to you about a topic. I cannot be the only person in the world feeling like this. What we are fixing to cover is a research project that was presented to the World Economic Forum, talking about current issues across the world by global citizens. We are also going to discuss the fact that right now 49% of the entire world will be going to the polls in 2024. What does that mean for the world? What does that mean for the elitists and the globalists who are shoving their one world ideas down our throats? Folks, it does not matter if you are left or you are right. What matters is that we are all human. I am just like you. I want the same things that you want. The difference is you and I might not be looking at it from the same perspectives. We may not be going down the same road in the same direction, but the ultimate goal that you want is the same goal that I want. I want my children to have a chance for a good life. I want my family members to be healthy and prosperous. I want freedom to speak my mind without being afraid of my government or my fellow citizens. I want to be able to worship the way that I worship. I want to see the next generation have a clean and safe world to live in. For most of you, that rang a bell, right? That is what we all want, unless you're just a narcissist, right? We want our kids to have a better life than we had. We want to see the world finally be at peace and people not starving in the streets, people not dying from diseases we know there are cures for, but somebody bought the patent, right? We can all agree on that. What happens though is how do we get there is how we disagree. Is it more government control? Is it less government control? And there is really where the divide begins. So today we're going to talk about this research project. I'm going to show you the results that were presented to the World Economic Forum, and I'm going to tell you why. If we don't all stand up under one voice for and stand up for ourselves and what we truly believe in, they're going to wipe us off the map, folks. Because the difference is they study us like lab rats. Let me explain to you guys why I ended up on this topic. I started doing a little deep diving into Robert Kennedy Jr., who's also running for president, because recently Hawaii has gone ahead and said he'll be on the ballot for the Democrat Party. Of course, the Biden administration is concerned because that means the electoral votes will probably go to Robert Kennedy. He's very, very light in Hawaii, you know, versus Biden or even Trump. So I started doing a little digging and I found a nonprofit that had been started by the original Miss Kennedy, President Kennedy's wife. On top of that, I started to notice that the board members were all part of the largest universities in America: Georgetown, Harvard, University of Carolina, and it just went on. And then I started noticing that they were very involved with the World Economic Forum to such an extent that they were willing to put out free lesson plans for teachers that focused on, well, basically global communities. And in these lesson plans, I'm now going to put it above my head, I want you to notice that they discuss in depth how nobody can be denied their nationality of the country they were born in or the ability to change their nationality. Now, it seems all innocent until you really begin to deep dive into the purpose of lesson plans like this, folks. It is to teach young children that movement around the world should be encouraged and be accepted as the norm. So that is going to degrade and demonize nationality. So you're seeing that right now in Ireland, right? So the Irish are being overrun by third world country illegal aliens. And the Irish have a problem with that because they want Ireland to be for the Irish. Yet Ireland's government is in bed with the World Economic Forum and they simply won't stop it. So you're seeing an uptick in crime. You're seeing the prices of housing go up. You're seeing jobs disappear. You're seeing the tax money that the Irish people pay in is going back to support these illegal aliens that don't like them or rude to them and feel like they should be allowed to be there illegally, I might add. And you're seeing that also in the UK. You're seeing that in places like Poland, Germany, America, Australia. We're being overrun by illegal aliens that is being supported through non-government organizations called NGOs, through nonprofits, as well as the government. Now, let me show you something the World Economic Forum was studying. They were studying the loss of trust factor in these organizations, and look what they found. So basically, we don't trust our governments anymore. And now this is not just America, folks. This is 28 countries that were polled. Okay, over 80,000 people, 1,500 per country or somewhere around that number, were polled asking all these questions I'm fixing to show you. And then the World Economic Forum sat down and broke it up and studied it in detail. Why? Because we're their lab rats. They're trying to figure out a way to make us all get on board and get behind them. But do you blame us? Okay, so let's start with science. First thing they noticed is that, especially in developed countries like America, in developing countries like China, people no longer trust science. We believe science has become politicized. Do you blame us? Look at Fauci. Look at Fauci. He's being questioned by the Senate right now. And I don't know if you noticed, but what that man did to those beagles is satanic. Let me get back on topic. So anyway, the world no longer trusts scientists because governments are so ingrained in science. And after 2020 and 2021 and what they did to us worldwide, you can't blame the world for going, we don't trust you. Not to mention, it's not just scientists. We're leaning towards trusting people that look like me, look like you, look like ourselves, people that we can relate to. So when people ask me, how did you grow your channel so quick? In 2 years, you had 50,000 people. That's not me. That's because I'm relatable to you. It's because I've got nothing to gain from sharing with you this information. My channel's not monetized. I'm not making a penny spending hours digging into this information and bringing it and presenting it to you. So because of that, because nobody is over my head holding a job above my head, nobody's paying me and then punishing me when I say something they don't like, they take my money away because I've already done that. You guys know that when I come to you and I present it to you, I've got no skin in the game, so to speak. The money that I make is when people feel, led by the Holy Spirit to send me a little bit of money. And it's a beautiful thing. It's grown my faith. It's grown your faith. It's grown our channel. And it's because of you guys that I'm still here. But because of that, the world has gotten to where it trusts people that look like themselves more than governments, NGOs, or social media, and especially mainstream media. And recently I did a video for you guys discussing how divided America has become politically between the far left and the far right. Well, guess what? World Economic Forum noticed that too, folks. Look at this. They said the divide is getting greater, especially in important topics like lab-grown meat and GMO crops and green energy. So what I take from this information, I try to put myself in the place of somebody sitting at the World Economic Forum, looking at this data and figuring out how I convince all those Christian conservatives in America to get behind lab-grown meat? How do I convince them to trust their government? How do I do that? Well, if I was them, if I was the enemy, I would begin putting pressure on social media influencers by demonetizing their channels, by coming after them with the IRS, by encouraging them through money and video, video deals and brands to talk about topics I wanted them to talk about. I would encourage companies to shadow ban and deplatform those people that were on board. As a government, I would encourage the government to give money to NGOs and nonprofits that specialized in getting people to trust in a globalization of the world in sister cities, in Green New Deals. That's the only people that would get grant money from tax revenue. If I was the enemy, I would start with the children. And that's exactly what they're doing. They've also noticed through all of this, folks, there's a purpose for me bringing this to you. They spent a week breaking this trust report down and having panels share it with visiting politicians and stakeholders and companies, and then discussing ways to fix it. While all of us are talking about whether or not Trump's going to get a mistrial, or Robert Kennedy is going to be on the ballot in New York, and what's going on with the Ukrainian war, while we're all looking at this nonsense over here, they're over here planning our lives and our futures, folks. We need to wake up. The World Economic Forum, you need a state governor like Louisiana has, that has already put out and signed legislation to stop them from having control in this state. Folks, we're at war. We are at war. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to support our channel, I'm going to drop the ways you can at the top. That would be a blessing to Stephen and I. We are going back to Maui August 1st through, now it's extended to the 12th just because the airline couldn't get us back on the 11th. Our airline tickets and our room is pretty much taken care of. I've set the money aside myself to pay for the room. If you've got a place we can stay for free, would love to talk to you. Otherwise, we're going to pay for it. But any money you send is going to the fire victims. If you send more than $250 up until Monday, I'm going to send you a beautiful Starkey Farmstead merchandise bag that was gifted to us to help raise money, and this amazing hat that we have. Folks, we are thankful if you just send $1. All of that money is going to help change somebody's life. We have to be smarter about where we're putting our money, because we all have $1 we can send. I know I give money out wherever I can, whenever I can, and I am just like you. Every time I look at my bank account, I burst out laughing. That stupid sucker's had another heart attack. My truck needs an air conditioner. I live in South Louisiana. My vehicle does not have an AC unit. I understand. But we were invited to speak to the king, and rather than fix my AC right now, I'm saving money to go to Hawaii to stand up for those people. So God bless you. We love you guys. Should be going next week to have my dentures fitted. Was supposed to go this week, but we lost power and I couldn't make it. So you know how it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Wake somebody up.